All right. First thing I wanted to bring up today. Ah, the fact that you're being lied to every step of the way. Every step of the way. Right down to who your senators, congressmen and women, up to the president. Doesn't matter who it is, they have the potential to not be who they say they are. You may be wondering why I have a picture of Jesse Ventura, or Jesse Ventura, pulled up on the Googly machine, Google, because he is a perfect example of how he is not who he says he is, yet he signed bills into law as a Minnesota state governor. Now, he touts his history as, a Navy SEAL, uh, wrestler, a professional fighter, as he says at the beginning of Conspiracy Theory with Jesse Ventura. Whatever. I'm not, I'm not knocking it. His as a Navy SEAL, that's awesome. That's wonderful. Kudos to you. I salute you. That's fantastic, and I'm thankful for your service. As a actor, as a wrestler, as a quote unquote fighter, awesome, man. Cool. I'm not a fan of wrestling, but right on. That's what you like doing. More power to you, bro. But as governor, this is an issue because he signed bills as a governor under the name of Jesse Ventura, which is not his name. You can see right here, James George Llanos, I would assume is how you pronounce it, is what his real name is. Jesse Ventura is actually not, it's just an alias. It's not actually linked to any of his official documents, birth certificates, social security card. Obviously wouldn't be on his birth certificate, but social security card, ID, anything like that. It's not an official alternate name. It's just a stage name. It's like Nicolas Cage is not his real name. Stuff, and he, those people like that will admit it. If it's just a stage name. But which is not the issue. The issue is that they run for political office on a lie that we believe, that we believe that lie, that, this person is Jesse Ventura, when in actuality, that's not who they are. That's a total fabrication. And they're signing bills into law, making them law, using these fake names. How is that kosher? How is that an okay thing? It's not okay. This guy's name is James Georgianos. Janos, call it whatever you will. That's cool. But he runs as Jesse Ventura. Jesse Ventura is not his real name. So he is not who he says he is. So look at it this way. If I walked up to you right now and said, okay, I want to give you $100,000. You seem like a great person. You may or may not be struggling in life, whatever. It doesn't matter. I think you deserve $100,000. My name, at first I would introduce myself as Jesse Ventura. I am Jesse Ventura. You don't know who I am, blah, 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 whatever. I'm not a famous person, but my name is Jesse Ventura. I want to give you $100,000 because of this, this, and this. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, absolutely. I want $100,000. Somebody give me $100,000 right now. So, but the catch is that I need to have access to your bank account. I'm gonna need your bank account number, routing number, all that kind of stuff. I'm gonna put it in there, but I need that stuff. Obviously, I know all the banks that I've been at, to deposit money like that, you don't need any of that information. Anyone can literally just walk in there and deposit money into so-and-so's, account that is associated with their correct name. But back to the story, the next day, you find out that my name is actually James Georgianos instead of Jesse Ventura. Why? What would be your first instinct? I know my personal instinct is, wait a second, this guy wants to, he wants my account information to give me money or whatever, however it works out. But he's not who he says he is. He's the first time he ever spoke to me, because first impressions are everything. My first impression of him is a total lie now. Would you trust him? I sure as hell hope not. I wouldn't. Hell no. Get that shit out of here. I would not trust that guy one bit, regardless of who it is. If the first thing they said to me was a total lie about their identity, I wouldn't trust a single thing they said after that. So, why is that any different than when they get on their television and say, blah, 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 I am going to change this, this, and this, blah, just like every other politician has said, we're going to change this, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Why would you trust anything they said? Whether you agree with what they want to do or not, why would you trust them? Because now not all of them are lying about who they say they are. But in Jesse Ventura's case, right here, he's not who he says he is. So why would you trust him? Why would you trust anything he said after that? And there's a lot more where that came from. There's a lot of people in government that are running for an office under an alias. Now, this is where this loophole comes in which it's not actually legally required to run for any political office under your birth name. It's actually not legally required that you produce identification, as long as you meet the requirement, like for president and stuff like that. If you meet the age requirements and as a natural born citizen, or all of those things, if you meet all of those things, then you can run, but you don't actually have to produce identification to be put on record to prove you are who you say you are. And that's done through a candidate oath form. So this is Florida's candidate oath form. Here's the link. departmentofstate.myflorida.com, blah, 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 whatever. Here's the PDF. Now, you will see, you can statement of party. I'm the member of the blank party. I've not been a registered member of any other, blah, 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 whatever. Signature, telephone number, email address, physical address, zip code, whatever, blah, blah, blah. But the only part on this entire document that says anything about your identification as to proving who you say you are, it doesn't say it up here in the oath of candidacy, doesn't say it in the statement of party. Right here is the only place where it talks about your needing to identify who you say you are. This is it. This is the only part where it talks about it. So you can either write in personally known, your alias, aka Jesse Ventura, or you can produce identification, which if you produce identification in front of the notary public, which would have to be signed by the notary right here, you produce identification, your name will be written here as shown on that identification, and then the type of identification produced, and you would say, state driver's license, passport, birth certificate, whatever. But the point is that this, by the way this is worded, personally known blank or produced identification blank, means that right here, all you have to do is run as an alias, any also known as name, Jesse Ventura, aka type of deal. You can run under Jesse Ventura and then have a third party, regardless of who it is, it can be anybody, can sign verifying that you are who you say you are in front of a notary public, and poof, there you go. Now, that's how Jesse Ventura got. Now, obviously, this is for the state of Florida, not for Minnesota, but it's the same premise. All of these are the same thing. You don't have to produce identification. If you'd like I said, here is the actual link to the website to get this PDF. That is how they're able to do so. Now, if you remember, and this is not a conspiracy theory. This is fact. I'm showing you this right now. To print this off, take it to a lawyer, and have them tell you, what does this mean? If you were to sign this right here as Don Johnson, take it in, sign it as Don Johnson, and have them look at it, say, would this work for a legal document to run as any this is from the federal candidacy section of their website, so this would be for a federal position. But ask the lawyer, would that be a accepted form of legal identification as an alias? They will say yes, because it is. Now, again, this is not a conspiracy theory. This is fact. This is actually happening. This happens all the time. Jesse Ventura is proof of it. Now, I want you to think about this for a second. Remember when Obama was being attacked constantly? Now, I'm a conservative person, but I don't care about party politics that are shown on TV. Actually, I don't watch the news. I don't watch the news at all, whatsoever, because it's all garbage. But, and I'm not saying this because I'm bashing on Obama. It's just a perfect example. Remember his birth certificate issue? There was an issue with his birth certificate that he couldn't. Everyone was telling him, every other president's, release their tax information, birth certificate, blah blah blah, whatever. Well, he hadn't yet. Now, everyone else's was either real. It was either a real birth certificate or it was, easily faked or whatever. But Obama's situation was extremely interesting because I think whoever built the story around who he is as Barack Hussein Obama is a fraud. I think it's a joke, and it was actually a rather poorly written story. So the story is that he was born in Kenya, but he was raised in Hawaii, and that's where his birth, or born in Hawaii, but raised in Kenya, whatever it was. I don't give a shit what it was. Either way, the idea that people were bringing up was the fact that he's not eligible for presidency because he's not a natural born citizen of the United States. But that's not true, because Barack Hussein Obama is not his real name. Everyone calls him that, but that's an alias. And he openly admits that his real name is Barry Soetoro. Now, right off the bat, that should raise some huge flags as to legitimacy of who he actually is. But the more important part is that if you actually look up his candidacy, his candidate oath form, it is, I don't have the link in front of me to check that out. And it may be gone now, but if you can find it, you will actually see that Nancy Pelosi signed as the third-party witness to the fact that Barack Hussein Obama is who he says he is. He did not produce identification because Barack Hussein Obama does not exist. He's not a real person. Barry Soetoro is not a real person, which is why he could not produce a valid birth certificate. And then when he finally did, he came out on Oprah and said, I released it, blah, 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 whatever. But we had to have it created. We had to make a new one because mine was destroyed in a flood in Hawaii. Because they, at the time of the flood, they hadn't switched over to digital copy yet. So, my original was destroyed. Well, come on. Are you serious? Do you seriously expect me to believe that? It's just ridiculous. It's just absolutely stupid. So anyway, nonetheless, this is the candidacy oath form. Every state has one for running for any office whatsoever. This is the Department of Florida, or Department of State's website for Florida. This is their the DSDE 27 form. It's pretty amazing. More evidence to that, actually, though, is to look up the FEC, the Federal Election Committee. I'll go there right now, actually. Okay, so here is the Federal Election Commission. Sorry, I think I said committee earlier. The Federal Election Commission for 2016. Here is more proof that you should not trust anything anyone ever says when it comes to politics. awanderluster.com. If you actually go to, I believe it's just wanderluster.com, it is a man who is traveling around the world, I believe is what it was. And he's raising political awareness through his travels and blah, whatever. I don't care. But the fact that he's running, he actually registered for a candidate for the 2016 election as a website. Not even as a person. He registered as a website. That right there is proof that you don't have to show identification. What was another one here? Oh, yeah, right here. What? Al N R M R Z Hussein Prophet. Oh my gosh. Absolutely ridiculous. Just dumb. Another one that was on here before was I see they removed it. I think it was like number 4 or something before. It was the first name said ass, and then the rest of it said da fat. The fat ass was running. Well, I just saw it. Oh yeah, the Antichrist. Yep, the Antichrist is running. Oh, here it is, dat ass. So there you go. The Batman. Batman was running for president. What retard didn't vote for him? That's my point. Is that, come on, really? Are you serious right now? You have there was 1,700 plus candidates for, let's go to the bottom. 1,700 plus. 1,788 is what there was to elect, to vote for. And we voted for who the media wanted us to vote for. But anyway, side note, that's a whole nother topic. But it's a whole nother topic. But you can see that, yeah. Remember D's Nuts? That was a big one. That was all over the news for a while. D's Nuts. That obviously that's not a real name. So now you can see that you shouldn't trust anything anyone on TV ever tells you, because, well, technically they're not even legally obligated to tell you the truth. So why would you believe it? So anyway, here's the proof of how everyone is lying to you on TV. All the, or I shouldn't say everyone. The fact that this loophole exists and is possible to be exploited, for a fact it is being exploited, because humans are generally terrible people. Anytime you introduce money or power into their possibility or possibilities of achieving that, if they can achieve it, guaranteed, there will be people who will do anything possible, will exploit any loophole, step on people, kill people to get to where they want to be, that has more power and more money. Knowing that for a fact now that 2 people, one for sure that I proved to you on this screen right here, Jesse Ventura, is a fact, not who he says he is, and lied to you guys about who he says he is, or about who he actually is when running for governor of Minnesota. So if he can do it, everyone else can do it. So just don't trust him. It's that simple. Anyway, Conspiracy Radio, out.